All right, so let's talk about mixed numbers. I'm not sure who it was. I already forgot, I'm sorry, but somebody asked for me to explain how to divide mixed numbers. So when we're dividing mixed numbers, what we have in mixed number is a whole number with a fraction, okay? And it's gonna look something like this. Let's say it looks like that, okay? The first thing we want to do when we're dividing mixed numbers is we want to turn those mixed numbers into improper fractions. So if you haven't gotten into this lesson yet, just be patient with me. I'm going to go over it kind of quickly. And then if you guys have questions, then we'll go into details on those questions, okay? So first step, turn them into improper fractions. How do we do that? We multiply, add. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3 becomes my numerator and my denominator stays the same. So when I make it an improper fraction, there's no longer a whole number, it's just like a fraction, okay? Divided by, I'm going to do the same thing with this one. 3 times 2, 6. Plus 1, 7. That becomes my new numerator, and the 3 stays the same on the bottom. Now that I've set up the 2 improper fractions, now I can divide. Does anybody have any questions on this first step?
Yes. I thought whenever they divide that you had to flip the second number.
Yeah, we're not there yet. You're completely right, but we're not at that step yet. I was talking about like if anybody has questions about converting to an improper fraction. But you're right. That is what we're going to do next. So the next step would be take the second fraction and flip it. So it's 3 over 2. That one stays the same. The second one gets flipped. Repeat the first step again? Sure. Okay, hold on. And then I put a multiplication sign between them. So I'm going to hit pause right here. I'm going to go back for 1 second. So remember, we did 2 times 1 is 2. Plus 1, this is 2. 2 plus 1, 3. That's how I got this numerator. Okay? Then we get 3 times 2, 6, plus 1. That gives me 7. That's how I got this numerator. And then the denominator stays the same. This is the denominator, this is the denominator. So the 2 stays the same, and the 3 stays the same. Does that make more sense, Alyssa?
Yes, thank you.
No problem. All right, so now, remember, second step, I flipped the second one. So I flipped it. Instead of being 7 over 3, it became 3 over 7. This is called a reciprocal. I know that sounds like a weird thing to make you learn, but a question about reciprocals does come out on the PyCap. So you need to know that word. So we flip it. We get 2 fractions multiplied to each other now. How do we multiply fractions? Straight across. 3 times 3 is 9. Oops. 2 times 7, 14. So okay. 9 over 14 is my answer.
I have a question.
Sure.
How come you switched the second one, didn't switch the first one?
Because like normally the way they teach this is they tell you to like cross multiply.
Okay.
But cross multiplying, a lot of times people like put things in the wrong place. So it's actually easier to just flip this over. Now, if I were to explain that the long way, the way this works is like this. 3 over 2 divided by 7 over 3. Actually, no, that's not a good explanation. Yeah, I don't like, basically it's an easier step to just flip it and multiply by the reciprocal than it is to do all the other long ways that would essentially give you the same thing. So just flipping it and multiplying is a shortcut. Is that okay? Does that make sense? Or
A little bit. I was just trying to understand why the first one wasn't flipped. Like there were like 2 or 3.
okay, so the
Yeah.
first one flipped because in the long process that happens, we end up multiplying this one to this one. So by flipping this one and leaving this one the same, we make it easier to just go straight across and multiply the appropriate things to each other.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's do one more example like this, and then I'm going to give you one. Zadija, these will come out both in word problems and just as like a division problem. They tend to come out in both arithmetic reasoning and also the mathematics knowledge section.